Hello, I'm Russ the August, and I'm lying on my bed on the balcony of my mother's humble abode, which is in Gardens in Cape Town, South Africa, the world.
Big round of applause to Grasser for coming on board as well, ladies and gentlemen.
The Grasser Comedy Showdown is a comedy competition that happens yearly in South Africa. It provides a platform for up-and-coming comedians to compete in 3 major cities. Here in Cape Town, 20 comedians battle it out over several heats. The winners of each heat make it to the final night of competition, where one comedian will be crowned the champion. The winner gets to share the spotlight with some of the world's top comics at the biggest comedy event in Africa, the Nando's Comedy Festival.
But this is the festival that means we have alternative comedy in South Africa today.
This is either marketing genius or sweet irony that Nathaniel, the gayest white guy in the country, is doing an advert and a competition to find the country's best boerewors.
Recently had a fortune cooking. Was a Chinese prostitute. I mean, I'm from Somerset West. You guys know where that is, right? Yeah, that's where you send your old people to die. Thank you. Thank you very much. That wasn't a weird childhood experience at all. I should have just had a fat cook. Would have saved me a fortune.
Nelson Mandela's gonna die. And when Nelson Mandela dies, this country is probably gonna have the biggest concert ever! What? Oh, I can't wait!
Have you seen that Dettol advert? It says Dettol kills 99% germs. And the slogan, Dettol, be 100% sure.
Germs. What's it? The domestos, they do the thing with the, you know? And they zoom into the toilets, and there you go, and there's little monsters. And you know, some of us, we don't have the healthiest of, you know, we do drugs. And that's not the sort of thing you want. You can't be staring into the toilet bowl with half a head of acid going, what the fuck is...
The cynical thing, I don't get tired of it, and I don't think people do either. It's something really enjoyable to watch, someone who's angry, but not too angry, just a little angry. Whenever someone tells me a story or anyone relays any sort of information, it always seems to just draw me in when they're upset.
With the advertising, it absolutely just fucks your priorities up. Things that you're not supposed to worry about, like soft skin. Why? I'm stressed. For now, soft skin is some sort of priority. You know, the Dove adverts. Try our new 7 days. So now in the back of, why do I even have that information in my head? Soft skin. And what the fuck does Dove have to do with soft anything? Hey, what was on the short list? The giraffe, a shongololo. No, a dove. A dove is soft, yes. It's a white pigeon. That's what a dove is.
It's not a good feeling to need a poo and then you have to stand in front of 80 people, because you always think like, what if I poo on stage? And then you'll always be the guy that made the poo on stage.
Do you know when you see a poo, when you go outside and you see a poo and you can tell it's not a dog poo? Doesn't that just ruin your day? When it's outside your house and you come and you go, oh, there's a poo. And well, in my case, this is OBS, and there was a guy hovering over it, making a poo.
And I think that's why people come to comedy. We can share the silly things and the dark things in a very light way. I like dealing with things that are accessible. So the whole middle class situation, working, family life, hobbies, all those things that we all share, but putting a cynical tint on it. I think that's fun. And it brings a lot of meaning to my routine, to my life, because I always have the notebook with me. I'll always be thinking, and nothing's wasted. And I think that's what I love about comedy, is that it's put everything into a context for me.
Hate that show, CSI, because the cops on that show are very competent. If you kill somebody, they'll find you. Now country, you could leave your ID there. They'll never find. Who is this? Jabo, take this thing to the lab for fingerprints.
My writing process is it's something that's always developing. You know, it's on and off. I've taken advice from like a lot of comics on how to write. There's guys who actually sit down and try to force jokes out. I don't usually force anything out. I let something happen in my life. Like something has to happen, then like I'll formulate a joke.
Guys, who do you think went through? Who do you went through? Come on.
I think Milo slayed it.
Milo killed.
I hate my teeth. Being the white minority of my body, they still get the best treatment.
I think it was because of a friend of mine, Tsepo Mohale. I saw him do a set once. Like, I think it was, where I saw him, where did he play? I think it was the Armchair. And I was like, I want to be a comedian. Like, I mean, I've seen comedy before that, but like, I didn't think I want to be a comedian when I saw it. But like, when I saw my friend do it, I was like, I want to do this.
Anyway, my name is Milo Hot Chocolate. My Afrikaans name is Koffie Ace. A lot of people say I look like Denzel. Denzel Makaki from Gugulet. On my way here, I got a lift from this white guy in a bakkie. Said he's open-minded about race relations. I can sit in front. What? I said, oh yeah? Well, I'm open-minded about race relations too. He said, what do you mean? I said, I'll let you keep the bakkie.
But now I'm like realizing, no, this is actually quite hard. It's, trying to get people to understand your thoughts in a comical way, Yeah, that's trying to get people to understand your thoughts in a comical way. That's heavy, man. Yeah.
So I'm one of the finalists for the showdown, which is very exciting. It means that we get to form a part of, well, we have a shot at being a part of South Africa's comedy legacy. We have a part of being a part of this artistic community that started in the 70s as far as alternative comedy goes here in South Africa.
I started off as a comedian through sheer desperation. I was a folk singer, and one night the audience weren't listening to the music, so I thought, well, maybe if I tell them a gag, they'll listen. And I told them a joke and they laughed, and I thought, well, hello. And I told them another joke, and it was a joke. There was a guy, a joke, and they laughed again, and I started thinking, oh, well, this is cool. So I sort of added more jokes to our little group, and we became a group that did folk music and lots of comedy, stand-up comedy in the middle.
I wanted to get into the industry in music rather than comedy, and it was down in Port Elizabeth, and there was one of my colleagues down there, a guy called Elaine D. Wolf. He was working down there. I used to watch him, and I used to sing in his breaks, and people enjoyed my singing. So when he left there, I took over, but I was just singing, and nobody just wanted to hear singing. They would talk, and I didn't like that. So I just nicked his whole show. I just nicked all his jokes.
Comedy was, as I said, was the domain of the white guy. So music became the domain of the black people in the townships. I mean, township was the music, nightclubs, white comedy kind of thing. And I never knew of one black guy that did comedy in those days. Maybe they acted on film, but we never saw those films. They were shown in the black movie houses. They weren't even allowed in the movies. I mean, they weren't allowed anywhere. I mean, the cost of apartheid is incredible. Think of it, they had to build 2 of everything. 2 post offices, 2 police stations, 2 bottle stores for people to come in different entrances. It's ridiculous. I mean, the whole system was weird, And this is where we learned our trade from. Just look at that lot and start thinking of real good shit, you know.
And in those days, of course, you had to do, it was 4 hours a night, 6 nights a week, 12 months of the year. So you were sitting there with a guitar. You had breaks, you know, you had a break every hour. But if you didn't have anything to say, you'd sing a song, you know, and then you'd, you know, maybe sing another song and then talk to people and tell a joke. So it kind of built from that.
In the apartheid era, you couldn't speak of certain things on stage, which I did about, and I got arrested for it and got into deep crap.
Mel Miller's gang, if you want to call them that, in their own way were doing alternative comedy. They were swearing during an era when the censor didn't allow it. They were getting arrested. So they were, in a way, they were more alternative than we are today, because it's not that hard to be alternative when you have freedom of speech.
Freedom of speech was not dead in the old days. It was the speakers that were dead. So that's the problem. You weren't allowed to speak about certain things. Today you can speak about anything you like.
Oh, thank God for apartheid. It took me right to the top. Because we came along, you know, post Madiba coming out. So there was a lot of pressure to have colourful comedians be seen, and we had a lot to talk about.
Having just come out of apartheid and that stuff, there was a certain release in being able to do jokes about all this racial stuff and political stuff.
Before us was a lot of pain, but at the time of the new comics now in South Africa stepping forward, it was an umbrella under which there was a lot of celebration. So the way when we could speak about things, it wouldn't make the room suddenly want to go out and toy. It would make people laugh and look at each other and look what we've been through.
Giving people permission to laugh about these things and to let them go.
Our insecurities as a nation, our post-traumatic disorders, our, you know, that whole vibe that we have. And so that's the stories that come out, you know, our prejudices and all of that. That's what comes out on stage.
I'm proud to be part of South African comedy because it's relevant and it's got a social weight. It's got balls.
South African stand-up, what makes it phenomenal is that we come from so many different backgrounds. We literally are the world in one country.
You've got white people, you've got black people, and then you've got colored people, and then you've got Indians, and then you've got all the other races. You've got Chinese, you've got Nigerians, you've got, you know, it goes on.
The fact that it's so diverse, possibly. The fact that there is an incredible history. The fact that some people are brave enough to make comedy about very, very touchy, difficult subjects. Apartheid, coming from the township, living under oppression, living with AIDS, poverty in a shack, talking about real massive subjects like that, which first world countries generally don't have. And that's what makes South Africans unique.
We've got 11 official languages. I'm sorry, dude, that's special.
Because we've now infused all the different people and cultures into like the audience, it informs the comedy, and we have a very, very gutsy audience that is prepared to hear things that if a third party heard us talking to each other the way we do, they would assume that we're either racist or we maniacs or we hate each other. But we're dealing with a huge amount of like dishonesty in the past, and now we're having a great time sifting through the honest side.
And the guys now, that are coming, the young guys especially, they are so integrated with society now, like with everything. Like they're friends with white guys from a young age. They skate, they do all this stuff, you know. They can swim, God damn it. They flipping have hamster pets and all that kind of stuff. So when he listens to you, he's like, oh wow, that guy is so old school. You know, and then he comes on and he starts talking about general stuff without even tapping onto, you white people are doing this, you black guys are doing it, but colored people, you know, without doing that. I find that amazing.
What I'm glad about is that there's a point where I used to know every comedian in South Africa. And now I see people, I'm like, whoa, who the fuck is that kid? He's amazing. I've never seen him before. I don't know his name. And it's like, obviously, it's there.
I'm suddenly seeing a whole different generation who does not have the issues that we had. So there's a sense of freedom. They even frown about some stuff that we talk about because they're like, what on earth are you talking about going to the side at the Wimpy because you couldn't go in? What? Are you like 85 years old? You know, they don't, and that for me is very, very encouraging because I think the climate is different now.
You've got guys who've lived in this new South Africa situation and they just want to go on and carry on, you know? They're like, yo, we free. I don't see what you guys are talking about, all this racism and whatever. To me, we are one. And this is my comedy now.
Ultimately, as as comedy grows and becomes more and more sophisticated, I think that we won't reflect on that as much as just the fact that our own humanity. We're not black and white, we're just people.
At one point in this 2 minutes, you all said, oh my word, Stacey, this guy on stage looks awfully familiar. You know, he looks like that guy from Fast and the Furious. What's his name? Vin Diesel!
So I have a couple of jokes tonight.
I used to tell my friends that, you know, obesity ran in the family, but nothing fucking ran in my family. That was the problem.
I watched Fight Club before I came here, but I'm not supposed to talk about it, so I'm going to move on.
Apparently, when I was born, I was delivered by debonaires.
Jacob just going around Parliament shooting all the ladies with his machine gun, huh?
I'm not even going to sugarcoat it, because I'll probably just eat that too.
Hey, Patricia, Mshiniwa.
And come running and they will launch themselves onto you and they'll be licking you and loving you and just so ecstatic to see you.
But then, of course, you've got to discipline the bitches. I drink and I smoke a lot, and I've never been one of those guys who've been unable to do a bra strap with one hand. So late at night when I get home and I'm a bit fucked, and I can't undo the bra strap, I just sleep with the bra on.
I'll tell you who else is also quite ridiculous is Peter de Villiers. When he speaks, he sounds like either he's taking a cuck or needs to take a cuck. Yeah, you know, Joel, at the end of the day, I don't want to sound disrespectful, you know. At the end of the day, Joel, people come up to me and they say, Peter, you know, what's the difference between winning and losing? And I say to them, guys, you know, there's no difference. There's no difference between winning and losing. But it feels better when you win.
It's different because you don't experience comedy like that really ever, you know. I mean, obviously there's times when you're getting paid at nice sums, so you've got to do well. You can't mess around. But there was more on the line, you know. It was great to have it as like a competition, you know, but nerve-wracking.
I want 1 or 2 words.
Well, geez, I'm cutting it off, that's all I can say.
Maybe Peter de Villiers has actually never taken a cuck. And when he does, I think it would only be fair to organize an event. And for such a big-scale event, you'd need a host.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Huey Blakeman.
Jeez. I don't know, I could like do the voice. I don't know, like, I could just do it, and then I would like just mess around with people and, you know, like always speak like that.
South African rugby coach Peter de Villiers is going to relieve himself for the first time in his entire natural life. It's going to be magnificent.
I didn't think that many people would know like who Huey Blakeman was, so I was a bit like, I had the voice at the time when I started out doing comedy, and I started with Peter de Villiers' gag, and I was afraid to do Huey Blakeman, and then one night I just did it, and then people did know, and I was like, well, I'll keep this in.
Good God, ladies and gentlemen, Peter is ready to take us away. Say. Daar comes. Hey. Ladies and gentlemen, it's coming out. Oh God, no, it's gone back in again. Get out, my friend. There it is. There it is. Try time. Pete, how do you feel? Well, I feel quite fantastic, thank you very much. Come on, chap, let's go and get some tea and biscuits.
What it takes to be a comedian or a good comedian is, I would say, like a lot of writing, a lot of performing, and knowing your audience, I guess, and knowing yourself, knowing why you're funny. You know, I mean, I'm still like figuring this out, but I think like that's where I want to go, is to just know why you're funny.
Do you guys read a lot? Anyone here read? Has anyone here heard of the tale of the Little Mermaid? Anyone? Apparently that was the only thing keeping her from being a real woman.
My style's more geared towards like, it's like old school one-liner comedy, but dry and hopefully funny and cheesy. New school cheese.
What sound does an Afrikaans dog make? Woof, woof. I didn't know that the world was in a recession until KFC started selling streetwise ones. I was reading The Voice the other day, there was a headline that said, obesity, the problem remains huge. Should not be taken lightly. Thanks.
I wonder from like what people think when they come to watch stand-up. Are they there to just laugh or laugh and be slightly educated, or do they want like a bird's eye view into someone's head?
I was at the beach the other day, a lady friend of mine showed up and she had a Louis Vuitton handbag and she said it was the coolest bag on the beach, but I disagreed with her because I had a cooler bag.
Why do you think that joke works well? Why do you think cooler bag is such a good joke?
I don't know, it's just neat. It's a neat little joke and it ends on the punchline. I mean, what's essentially what I'd like every joke to try and be is a, like, in the last word should be the punchline.
My grandfather's had a watch for over 80 years. It's a fossil. A friend of mine is a published author, but he's lost his ability to write. He's got authoritis. Another friend of mine recently got knocked over by a golf cart. He's now got a handicap. Fire in the hole, what's at a chick with gonorrhea? I went into CNA the other day, I saw a cover of Popular Mechanics that said, is Google making us stupid? But I didn't know the answer, so I checked on Yahoo.
I think it's one of the few places you can say anything you want and you can justify it, and people are not that judgmental. Maybe they are a little bit, but they understand it's stand-up, so they're not necessarily that judgmental into your thoughts or the way you think. It's one of the few things you can actually bring across without being, you know, coming across deep or like poetry or like writing serious music or whatever. So I like that idea of the freedom of expression.
When we started, we thought you had to write new material every week. We knew nothing about stand-up. Alternative comedy started in South Africa in 1997 with the first ever Smirnoff Comedy Festival, which Martin did.
First ever UK comic to do it.
Yeah. So we literally went out and just started running our own gigs because it's the only way we could work.
In 1999, there wasn't much to play really. There was the Armchair Theatre in Ops, which was like the grand poobah of all stand-up in Cape Town.
Kurt was brand new at it. He still had his courier company. Conrad Koch was there. And they said to me, you're funny. Give it a go. And the Armchair, I can't tell you what the Armchair was like. It pumped.
There was a group called, a comedy group in Cape Town called the Cape Collectives. And Cape Comedy Collective, yeah? And my friend used to go to workshops for that in Woodstock.
that workshop mentality of helping each other, going, great line, but maybe that would work there, or try that there. And I think it's still with us all today.
Me and Tracy wrote some of the best jokes at the time for Kurt Schoonrad. We came up with some classic stuff for Kurt. And he's written stuff for me, and it exchanged, and it was all kind of like, we have an idea, and then they help you with the gags, and it would help us create routines.
Sam Pearce and Mark Sampson, they started the Cape Comedy Collective. All credit has got to go to them.
I guess the CCC started about 12 years ago now. I think its success came from the fact that Sam Pearce realized that this is a multi-racial country that is not being represented in comedy.
Sam did the most extraordinary job of marketing comedy in Cape Town. It was extraordinary.
And she was the driving force behind representing that to the media, taking it to the media and saying, you need to support local comedy.
And there's like the armchair theatre. And suddenly I meet people like Kurt Schoonrad, yourself, Mark Lottering, Stuart Taylor, and it's just like, this is the end of 99, beginning of 2000, and there's this like explosion. So for me, that is quite a seminal moment.
You couldn't squeeze a cockroach, and they tried the cockroach. I mean, we've all been to the armchair, we know what it's like. It was the most extraordinary experience, the vibe. There was, like, people would fight over beanbags. There would be queues down the road to get into the armchair.
And it was so, you know, it was so on the edge, and people were always coming there who'd never seen stand-up. It was, I don't know, it was my first time I went there. First time I performed there was the first time I'd watched stand-up almost ever.
I was walking in Rondebosch, and then Mark Lottering said, hey, I've been looking for you, you know, we haven't, you know, I saw you that time, where have you been? There's a thing that we do called the Cape Comedy Collective. You come, people, there's all sorts of comics, you stand up and you do your shit, it's cool, you're gonna love it. So I was like, cool, I'll go. So I went off to Woodstock that one day, and there was everybody that, pretty much people that I've known ever since, you know, Riyad Musa, Kurt Schoonrad, Stuart Taylor, Jason Cope, Mark Sampson, David Levinson. It was a whole hub of, you know, Conrad Koch, Snodgrass. It was on.
Colin Moss, a bunch of guys that are all still in the industry, still making a living out of what they're doing.
In fact, if a bomb dropped there 10 years ago, it would have wiped out the whole comedy industry as we understand it, bro. David Cow started there. And I'm not only talking about the exclusively Cape Town guys, I'm talking about the comedy industry in the country. We all started out there.
It was an amazing platform for all these people to arrive on the scene. And Mark and Sam were instrumental in creating that, and getting it off the ground and getting it going, and creating an environment for people to show up.
And that's what I backed. We're both from England. I've been here 20 years, but I'm English. You can hear from the accent still. And I came over here going, wow, Kurt's funny. Yeah, that Seppo Michali's funny. Kagiso's funny. Dave Levinson's funny. These guys are funny. Riyad just blew me away. And there was Mark Lottering was just always just so brilliantly rehearsed and just so focused and hilarious and just really, really skillful. You see these guys and you just think, why are they not massively famous and making loads of money? This is... But the majority of the people in this country who were into comedy at the time supported comedy from America or England and thought if it's South African, it's shit. And we had that. As English people walking around giving out flyers in the early days, CCC, come and see local comedy, local South African comedy. Screw it up. If it's South African, it's going to be shit. And throw it on the floor. And it took a couple of years to convince them, really, to support local.
And it's not just the stand-up thing, because the stand-up is a platform for a whole host of other things, you know. The South African movie industry's come through exceptionally well recently. And I think movie makers and producers and so on are starting to see the value of South African comedians. And just like they did in the US and the UK and Australia in the last 20, 30 years or so, that's happening in South Africa right now.
But what an amazing thing that it got to that stage where local was lekker at last.
I don't give a fuck what you name your kids. My problem is with the surnames. You need to make sure that shit matches, you know? Because then you end up with Phoenix, Kutamur, Maddox! Bochenpoel. Sounds cuck.
A lot of people have difficulty saying my name for the first time, so I usually say it like this. It's Fickling, like tickling with an F. Which is like fucking, but with a tickle, you know? I'm a generous lover.
There's nothing more depressing than drawing up a list of things that you want to give away when you die, only to realize you've got nothing to give away. She bought me shampoo. It had extra volume, extra body on the label. I was thinking, extra body? How big do you want me to get? I'm walking around my house, I'm doing inventory, right? I'm looking for shit to give away. All I've got is a Power Pan and a Shrek 2 DVD. That's it.
If you don't give me my vegetables back, I'll set myself alight. And the police, it's just like, who's this idiot? You won't do that, that's ridiculous.
I started out drawing a will. Halfway down the page, it turned into a suicide letter. I'm glad I'm in a relationship. I mean, I've been there for 8 years, and I take it would be difficult to be in a relationship now since I've got the sex appeal of a policeman.
I had to ask myself, why are there never any colored people in Friday the 13th? And I know why. Because we fucking survive shit. White people investigate, we get the fuck out.
Before I ever started comedy, I went to a show and I saw it was amateur comedians, and there were actually two guys that were really bad. And I thought to myself, if they can do it, I can.
Colored people will take Friday the 13th and turn it into an episode of Third Degree. And so, Deborah, and so, Deborah, he grabbed me, so I said to my girlfriend, hou my tande Beyoncé. To say for him, you, jy vang vir my, hier's klomp fucking mense hier so, man. That's what we do, you know?
How comedy has changed my life since before I was a comedian. I've become a lot more confident person. I was the funny guy around the braai always, you know. But I mean, making your friends laugh and making 1,500 people laugh, two different things. So I've had good gigs and I've had bad gigs, and it's almost the bad gigs that it's more helpful to me, because I mean, you learn from the bad gigs, and it's made to be a good comedian. You kind of need to be able to roll with the punches. You know, if something comes up, you know, just especially as an amateur comedian, anything can come up. You know, you can be told you prepare 10 minutes. They tell you, oh, you need to headline now, do half an hour, and then you need to fall into that. So you always need to be prepared.
I'm a feeling. Carl, this is what I do. I do comedy. Carl, see this shit over here? This is what I do. I bring the houses down.
And I love the shower scenes. The shower scenes are the best. Because this is a scene. Pretty little blonde girl steps out of the shower, dries her hair, and then she hears, Amy. Tommy, is that you? I'm going to kill you. Tom, they don't believe it, so they have to go and see. They investigate this shit. But if this was a colored girl from Mitchell's Plain, what the fuck's funny about Mitchell's Plain? Pretty little colored girl steps out of the shower, dries her hair. No, hey. She's got a GHD, it's okay. And then she hears, Chantel. Denzel? Pass me thunder. Denzel, is it you? I'm going to kill you. Denzel, don't fuck around, okay? I'm going to steal your swirl goes. We get the fuck out. We don't investigate.
My style of comedy is more, I'd classify it as storytelling. I'm a storyteller. I'm telling you my life, where I come from, where I'm going, where I am. So, and my style of comedy, I'd like to think of it as feel-good comedy. I don't do dark, twisted comedy. It's, I want you to get up and feel a little lighter, you know, feel good about yourself, you know. And people that are comedians that are kind of class in my, who have the same style with, would be KG, local comic. KG, he's doing amazing.
My name is KG. Are you guys feeling good tonight? Good for you. I feel like I'm about to pop. Look at this thing. My woman told me today, straight, baby, you are not in shape. Which is really confusing because I've never been in shape all my life. But I've been in The Voice. I thought if I wrote something funny about me, then it gives me a license to say something funny about other people in the crowd, you know what I mean? And I thought if I wrote something about me, then they'll get to know me a bit better and they'll warm up. They'll go, oh, he can't be that bad. Gym doesn't help. I was there to renew my annual membership. The personal trainer asked me straight, sir, do you want speed, stamina, or power? I thought, speed, stamina. Am I trying to be the fastest fat guy alive? And then he continues to say, have you identified any problems on your body? Ma'am, I've been here for 20 seconds. Have you identified any problems? Saying stuff, making people laugh. Making people laugh. Sharing my story, saying this is what I think. Are you guys thinking the same thing? And for them to respond by laughing is why I'm doing it. But unfortunately, being in a relationship is kind of like saying, baby, I'm willing to deal with all the crazy things that the hot boys are not willing to deal with. Let me give you an example. If my woman was dating a hot boy and she asked the hot boy if her dress made her look fat and he said yes because it does, she would have taken a couple of chocolates, went to the bedroom, cried, taken the dress and give it to another woman she hates. With me is a different story. Baby, does this dress make me look fat? And I say yes because it does. I get that, and who the hell do you think you are? Denzel Washington? She says, you're not even Barry White. People look at me and think I'm a corrupt government official. I suppose it's better than Barry White. No, my inner world consists of my missus, my kid, a whole lot of cigarettes. I don't know what other comedians do. The truth, my man. I think the truth. If you can stand up there and tell the truth, that's it. I don't think it matters where you live, how you live, you know, healthy and unhealthy, criminal, priest. As long as you've got something to say and it makes people laugh, you're a true comedian.
Look, comedy scene, Cape Town comedy scene it's like a bomb waiting to go off. I think the guys have so much potential.
But especially Cape Town, there's some amazing guys with a good group dynamics, which, you know, it's cool people. You see each other, you know, it's awesome. I really enjoy it. And you know, it's a bunch of cool guys doing what they love.
I have nothing but admiration for anyone who even tries to do it here. The distance and the lack of gigs. If you get to any level doing it in this country, I've got such, you can be rubbish and I've got respect for you here. Because you can...
Thanks, Smart.
That's all right. It's my way of telling you.
The skill set's improved, the amount of people involved who are capable of performing and doing the job has increased, the output of material is phenomenally better, and the camaraderie that's built around the acts is the proper essence of what stand-up should be. It's like having a crew of people who are out there who are keen to actually all succeed as a group.
It's more there now, you know, like there's more guys doing comedy.
There's like this inner circle of like, we are amateur comedians in Cape Town and we need to make it and no one's helping us, so we can help each other. And it's a really tight circle of friends.
In terms of style, energy,
friendliness, happiness, joyfulness, camaraderie. I reckon Cape Town comedy is up there.
And my fellow comedians has now become my friends. They're my buddies. And we hang out and we drink beer and, you know, drink each other's beer. Most of the time, they drink my beer.
Wouldn't say professional, because we're definitely not. we have a lot more fun, I'd say, than the Cape, because we earn a lot less money, which is kind of weird that we have more fun.
And but it's cool, you know. It's tight. I like it. I look forward to, even if I'm not gigging, just going backstage and just hanging out with the guys.
We've got some young acts that are just doing so much cool stuff. That's what I'm most enthusiastic about South African comedies.
You've got the comics that are trying to break in, and they are all fantastic. They write beautiful material. It's got a potential of growth. It needs sponsorship. It needs more gigs.
Just to do it here is amazing, because there's so few gigs, and the standard for the people who are average to good here is amazing. When you take that into consideration, the standard is absolutely amazing. Really is, because it's like having guitar players, but you're not allowed to practice your guitar anywhere. You know what I mean? You can't go and play anywhere, so you can't get any better. Yeah. See, I mean, how many guitar players would there be if you could do that? No. I've got great respect for people who do it here.
If I could sum up the Cape Town comedy scene in one word, it would be eclectic. You know, I love there's so many like trains of thought going on, and guys doing different stuff. It's not the same. It's like unique. It really is such interesting points of view and styles.
Yeah, I reckon we're on the rise. And in terms of funniness, I think we're up there with the best of the world.
Today we are going to witness an unbelievable occasion.
I'm a very dangerous man. I'm into cage fighting. I recently fucked up a budgie and a parrot.
Before I start, do you mind if I ask you guys a question? I just did.
You know, we're getting older. We grow up. We've got things to do now. There's this fad. A lot of people are into it. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called work.
The personal trainer asked me straight, sir, do you want speed, stamina, or power? I thought, speed, stamina. Am I trying to be the fastest fat guy alive?
Every 10 minutes, like clockwork, in Bloemfontein, fuck all happens. You can ask any of these guys, I never do well pre-show. I kind of get into my zone. You know, I must say one of my very fondest memories of Bloemfontein is the very first time my father took us to KFC. Oh, what a treat. My very first time at KFC, I think I was like 25, was the best.
I shop a lot at Pick n Pay. And Pick n Pay is an interesting place to me because it has these warning signs, you know. And one of the signs on their walls is that the safe key is not on premises. Yeah. And I'm thinking, Pick n Pay, do you think that criminals are keen readers? Like they would abort a mission after reading this sign?
Well, we didn't go into KFC. What my father would do, he'd pull around the back, park under the air vents. Each one of us with a half a loaf of white bread, roll down our windows, and when that smell hits you, you take a fucking bite. Boneless chicken, boneless chicken.
Like they would come there and go, Tabo, they're saying the safe key is not on premises. Yo. Ask them when it'll be here. Tell them we come from far.
And my sister'd be sitting there breaking her bread into little pieces. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Sprinkle pops.
Yeah, man, there's a rush you get from this, you know, and the more I get another chance to be kind of
you get the comedy rush and advancing in the competition rush. That's a double, you know, that's a rush times 2. So that's nice.
But I'll leave you guys with this thought. A lot of women say guys with fancy cars are insecure about the size of their manhood. But ladies, I don't own a car. So what does that say about me? You guys have been cool, thanks.
But before I get too carried away, there are a couple of special rugby guests in the audience tonight. We've got Stein, Olafia, Dupria, Entunkani, and we've actually got the entire Entunkani family, ladies and gentlemen.
This is the thing. There is nothing worse than looking at a size 42 pair of jeans and realizing that you're a 48. You gotta go shop at Big and Tall. That's the Donna Clay of all fat men. I love Big and Tall. At Big and Tall, I'm an extra small.
Yeah. And now there are a couple of 2 players alongside me, and they're going to say a few kind words. Brian Habana and Gio Apollon. Brian, take us away. All right, clearly Brian has fuck all to say. Gio, what do you have to say?
Yes, I just want to say to Peter. Peter, can I call you Daddy? Okay, thank you, Daddy. Thank you, Daddy.
I'm excited too. So it's gonna be good. It's just another night. I know the rig. We've done this a few times before. So, and it really is my favorite place to be. It's on stage, talking nonsense.
We have these people. I don't know if you have them. Any neighborhood watch people here? Yeah, fuck those people. I had my scooter stolen. This lady ran up to me, reflector vest, the thing, you know these people. She went, whoa, what happened? I said, my scooter got stolen. She went, oh. And then she buggered off.
Look at me. I take care of myself. It's about watching what you eat. When you were having 2 full chickens, I was having 1. And on the days when I have 2 full chickens, I do not eat the chips. My name is KG Zulapa. You guys have been great. Thanks a lot.
Now we're going to find out exactly why you all came tonight. Our judges have decided who the winner is and who's going to be performing at the Nando's Comedy Festival. In 3rd place, Milo Hot Chocolate. Give him a big round of applause.
Because in these movies, a lot of guys get blowjobs in their cars. I thought I should try it. It made everybody in the taxi very uncomfortable.
In 2nd place, Ollie Booth. Big round of applause.
Hello, who's speaking? Who's speaking? Who's speaking? Who's? I'm just joking, baby. I know it's you.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the winner of the Grasser Comedy Showdown, Carl Weber. Here's your winner, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for Carl Weber! Make sure you go down and check out the Nando's Comedy Festival. We're here every
That's the farm boy. It's an amazing, amazing experience. I'm a long way from Bloemfontein.
Listen to me tonight. Listen to me with your tight skin and your judgment.
Take down! We love you!
It's like one day you're a vital dude with plans and information. Boom, next day you're an old man. You got a brand new vocabulary, new words you're using, ointment.
Like I will see someone's about to knock you out, he's not gonna tell you. He's gonna tell somebody next to him.
Like when did women start being attracted to men who look like very skinny women with mustaches?
Me, check, about meeting.
One man.
Check.
One solution.
I told you.
Double the action.
Push up.
I'm sweating hard. The guy will drive past me and go, hey, Baba, where you going?
Triple the excitement.
Dude, behind you.
Fuck, I'm jogging, brother. I'm jogging.
Get down.
I'm on the highway to hell. No, we can take you. It's our job.
More of the excitement. Get down again.
No, it's just 750.
I can't believe these guys are coming here.
I saw everything.
A great comedian, Mel Miller, one day told me, when you kill it on stage, it goes to your head. But when you die on stage, it goes to your heart.
When you stand on stage and you try everything and nothing works, there's one bead of sweat that starts at the top of your neck and rolls down your back. And by the time it reaches your crack, you're 5 years older. That's dying.
There's two kinds of comics in this world. Those who have died and those who will die. It's that simple.
I think dying is one of those things, like if you're a skate, Tony Hawk will tell you about how many times he fell, you know. It's one of those, it's like a part of, it's occupational hazard.
You've skin this thick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you will die, when you start off, everybody has died.
Any comedian that tells you he's never died is a liar, because we all do it.
Moments of dying has to happen because what you think is funny at home is not always funny when you take that mic.
Dying was a regular thing, and the worst part about dying was realizing that nobody cared. You're going down in flames and nobody gives a fuck. So it's not just that you're dying, but you're dying alone in a crowded room and no one cares.
But every audience goes, you know, people look down at their drinks, or they look over their shoulder, or they look away because they feel confronted or embarrassed, and embarrassed for you.
In fact, they're talking to each other while you're dying on stage. Just this rush of like blood in your ears. You can't hear anything. Your mic is like slipping in the palm of your sweating hand, and you cannot remember what you'd written down, and you're panicking. It's kept happening and happening and happening.
And it's always said when you walk up and you're like, I promise to do better next time. I promise when I come back, I will rock your world. And then they're like, boo. And then you catch some people, like some ladies, and they're looking really like shame. You know, it's just terrible. And to recover from that is just a mission.
The next day, and then I could see the tension amongst the guys. Right? You know when a comic has messed up, but no one wants to say, you just died.
So how the fuck we carried on, I have no idea. Because to go through that and then split 11 Rand between you, and I'm not one of those old people who says, in my day, with 11 Rand you could buy a farm. It was still fuck all money then as well.
And when they saw my weakness, never show them your weakness. Never show them your weakness. You know, when I started sort of succumbing and like admitting defeat, they started booing, you know, and then I knew it was over.
And you try everything, you try every trick you ever learned, and nothing works. And they look at you like a bunch of statues, you know. Think, my God, help, you know what I mean? And you can see God sitting up there going, ha, ha, ha. You know?
The thing is about comedy, if you don't like, people don't like the comedy, they don't like you.
It's you. So when someone doesn't like you on stage, they don't like you.
Yeah.
We don't like you, my friend.
Yeah. It's very personal.
It's not the script. No, you.
Yeah.
You know those ideas that you came out with and you thought were really clever? That's you.
Yeah.
So when we're booing you.
Nerves, those nerves, because nerves can be debilitating. You can be the author of your own demise, and in fact you will be. If you allow the nerves to overtake you, you will not be able to perform.
So yeah, I understand when the guys are going through that whole thing of being nervous. I still get nervous even today, you know, and I love it. I love the nerves. They give me that rush, you know, the butterflies, man. The sort of like your Rocky music. You know, if a day comes and you don't have those butterflies, you should count your days, man. You should like, you know what, I need to start looking for a job.
We all do it sometimes. You never learn from a good audience. I mean, you get in front of a good audience, you can say the Lord's Prayer in Hindi and they will laugh. Bad audience, if you get a tough audience, they're not bad, they're tough. They're just a bit tight, you know? And you can pull them along and get them working for you and with you. That's where you learn.
But the important thing is about dying is that it's going to happen to everybody. There is nobody it does not happen to. And whether dying means you don't get one laugh or you don't get as much response as you would like, it's still not very pleasant. But it's a fact of life that once you get used to dying, you're a much, much better comedian, because when you win, it's much, much sweeter.
For the last 14 years, we've done Showdown, and every year at this time I get a new comic who's breaking into the big time with the same advice. The show's going well, don't fuck it up. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
It builds confidence with every stage you perform on. Whether you kill it or you die on stage, it makes you just a little bit tougher.
The thing is, you can die at club comedy, you just don't die on a stage like this. So dying is not an option. Do your thing in 5 minutes, be punchy, get out there, eat the mud, get out there.
Ladies and gentlemen, starting from the stage right now is the champion of the Pasta Comedy Showdown here in Cape Town. Welcome to the stage, very, very funny, Mr. Carl Weber.
What's up, Cape Town? How you guys doing? You guys good? Whoa, 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 whoa. Colored people in the front row. Whoa. Breaking barriers tonight. We don't do that. We don't do. Oh no. White people love the front row. White people coming through the doors. Kom Jaco, fuck it, will voorsit. Fuck it. We don't do that shit. We don't. No. We hate the front row so much we pull it out. Fuck that. Fuck that. No front row for us. But I've been in Cape Town about 4 or 5 years, and I noticed a lot of differences between Bloem and Cape Town. A lot of differences. For one, the people from Bloem are a lot bigger than Cape Townians. They are huge. I'm talking big arms, big red beard, comb in the sun. You know? And that's just the woman. Women in Cape Town look after their men. They look after their men. You know? For instance, you're dating a girl from Mitchell's Plain, right? You get into a fight. Immediately, she jumps right in the middle. Oh no, oh no, oh no, Denzel. You are not going to fight. Jy gaan nie beklei nie. You are not going to fight. Hou my tande, jy gaan te moer.